Hey, second graders, welcome to math class. I'm excited to see you. This is going to be kind of a long video, but that's okay because this week what you can expect is that you're going to see some new concepts. The first new concept that you're going to see is going to be called estimating sums. Estimating sums. We know that estimating means guessing. Or having a good guess, an educated guess, and then sums is what? Answers to addition problems. So we're going to be kind of guessing or estimating the answers to these addition problems, and I'm going to teach you how to do that with what we learned last week with rounding numbers. And then later in this video, after we get done with this, we're going to be talking about pulling apart numbers and just kind of do a little review lesson on that because you're going to see a lot of that over the course of this week. So taking like 5,342 and separating it into those different place values. So that's what we're going to be starting with in this video, and then you'll have another video about fractions. So let's get started. On page 282, and all of you have that, they are going to introduce to you something called estimating sums, okay? The book, I have it right here, tells us very clearly to estimate the sum of two-digit addends, round each of the addends to the nearest 10, and then you'll add them together. So there's two steps to this. What they want you to do is they want you to round each of these numbers to the nearest 10, and we learned how to do that last week. And then once you've done that, then you're going to add those two together. So there's how many steps to this? Just two. Round these numbers to the nearest 10 and then add those numbers together. So I'm actually doing number 1A and 1B right here on the board. So if you have your papers with you and you want to do this with me and follow along, that would be great. So this is A and this is B, okay, in your books. And so it tells us in our books 49 plus 22. And then it kind of over to the side says 49 rounds to what? So right over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little box, okay, right here next to 49, and I'm going to put a little box right here next to 22. Can you see that? Good. All right, so 49, what would it round to? If I say round 49 to the nearest 10, it's either going to round up to 50 or it's going to round down to 40. So is 49 going to be rounded to 50 or 40? 50, right? If you don't remember that, if you don't remember how to do that, remember the hill, right, that we talked about last week where the 5 is right here. The 9 is way down here on our hill, so it would go to the next 10. So we're between 40 and 50. 49 would be here, so it's going to roll down. Think of that marble, right? At the 5, it rolls down that way. So 49 is going to round to 50, okay? What about 22? 22 is going to round where? To 20, that's right. Okay? To 20, and there's step 1. So we're already halfway done with this problem. Now we just add these two together. So 50 plus 20 is what? Okay? 5 plus 2 is 7, and 0 and 0 and 0. 70. So the estimated sum of 49 plus 22 is 70. This is helpful if I think about, okay, I'm going to have 49 people come from this group of friends and 22 people come from this group of friends. How many cupcakes should I probably get? And so I'm going to try to make an estimated sum or a quick guess if I don't want to do this addition in my head and round those numbers where they need to go and then order that many cupcakes. Okay, so this is just one of those skills that's going to help you make better guesses and better estimates. But it's a skill that's really, really good to learn. It's going to help you as you go into 3rd grade. So now that we've done this one, let's go ahead and do B in your book. Okay, so follow along with me. We've got 15 plus 14. Well, those numbers are pretty close together. Let's see what we do with that. So I'm going to draw my little box. Now your book already has those lines there, but eventually they might not. So if you want to draw the box, go ahead and do that. If you don't think you need to do that, that's fine. You don't have to, but this kind of helps me see it and helps me visualize what is happening to those numbers. 14, I'm going to draw my boxes. Okay? So 15 rounds, does it round down to the 10 or does it round up to 20? Because 15 is between 10 and 20. It goes to 20. That's right, because right at that top of that hill, remember, the marble, when it hits the 15, it rolls down. That's the tipping point. So 15 would round up to 20. What about 14? 14 is right next to 15, isn't it? Does it round to 20 as well? No, it doesn't, does it? It rounds down to 10. So we've got 14 rounding down to the 10. So there's step 1. Step 2 is to add those together. 20 plus 10 is 30. So my estimated sum of 15 plus 14 is 30. Very good. All right, so that is your mini lesson there. If you have any more questions, you can reach out to Mom or Dad. You can watch this video again. Okay, just rewind it and replay it. But we're going to go ahead and move on to pulling apart numbers, okay? So if you have this page with you, go ahead and look at page 285. So you can get that page while I'm cleaning. Whatever you want to do, looking at page 285 is where they introduce this again. Now this is something that we've been doing for a long time, but I think it would be good for us to review it just so we can get our brains refreshed, okay? I know my brain needs refreshed. I've been watching too much TV. Okay, so page 285 on question 2, it's going to have a number for us. So it's got number 531, okay? And then it's asking us, does 531, is this how to represent that with 5 plus 3 plus 1? Or is it represented by 500 plus 30 plus 1? Okay, so if I was going to pull these place values apart and see their value, how much that number is actually worth, okay, how many points it's worth, is this if I had 531 points and I split it up, would it be 5 points plus 3 points plus 1 point? That doesn't seem like a lot of points, does it? But if I added 500 plus 30 plus 1, that sure does sound like it's going to be pretty close. So before we answer that question, let's go ahead and separate that place value, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put 531 right here. And then what I'm going to do, I like using all my colors, can you tell? I'm going to separate these numbers. Now, when I say 531, this 5 is in which place value? Which place is it in? Is it in the ones, the tens, or the hundreds? The hundreds, right? So this 5 is not just a plain old 5, is it? It's in the hundreds place. So this 5 is actually 500, right? It's worth 500 points. It's in the hundreds place. Now here, we have a 3 in which place? The ones place or the tens place? The tens place, right? It's kind of like having that 10 stick. We've got 3 10 sticks right here. So is this going to be a 3 if I pull it apart? Or is it going to be more than that? It's going to be more than that, right? It's 3 10 sticks. So we've got 10, 20, 30. So this 3 is actually representing 30. And this 1, who's in the ones place, who is it representing? Or how much is it representing? Just 1, right? Just one little point. He's in the ones place, and there's only 1 of him. So look here, we've got it all separated. And now we know that if we add these together, 500 plus 30 plus 1, it would give us 531. So our answer is right there. Very good. All right, there's your little review on how to pull your numbers apart. Now, we'll go ahead and do one more, but we're kind of going to do it backwards this time, and it's going to be up into the thousands. Are you ready? All right. Let's see here. Let's do one more example. Now, I'm also doing the example from the book, so this is number 2 on page 285 if you want to follow along. So it's got us looking at 2,000, make sure I have my comma there, plus 70 plus 5. So let's first look at the different numbers, okay? So we've got 2,000, there would say thousand, okay? So we know that there's going to be a thousands place in our number when we write it, okay? Then we have 70. Now, what did it skip? Is there a place that it skipped between 1,000 to 70? It skipped the hundreds place, didn't it? So when we write this number, there is no hundreds number to write down. So we're going to put a 0 for the hundreds place because there's not a number here that's in the hundreds. So then we've got our 70, which would be in the tens, right? Because it's a 2-digit number and it's got the tens place. And then we have 5 in the ones place, just a little single digit number. So it gives us some options here. It gives us, it gives us these 3 options, okay? So it gives us 275. It gives us this option. No. Oops, sorry about that. 705. And then it gives us this option. So, which one can it be? Let's try to cross them out here so we can try to find out the right one. So we're looking for a 2,000 marker. So it would be a 2 with a comma over it. So let's see, does this one have a 2,000 in the thousands place? No, it doesn't. So we already know if there's no comma in this number, it can't be right. Okay? So let's cross him out because we know he's wrong. Now here we've got 2,705, and then we have 2,075. So let's first look. Do we have a 2 in the thousands place? We do. Okay, so they're both right there. Now, do we have a number that's representing the hundreds place? No, we don't. There's no number there that's in the hundreds. We go from the thousands to the tens. There's no hundreds number. So let's look here, because if there's a number in the hundreds place, then it's not our answer. We want a 0 in the hundreds place. So we've got our 2,700. Uh-oh, is there a 700 up here? No, but let's make sure. Let's look at this other one. 2,000. Oh, there's no hundreds there. It just goes right to 70. Oh, there's our answer. This one can't be it, but this one is. So as you're pulling apart numbers, make sure that you're paying attention to the number that's in the right place value and which place value is represented in your number, because you might not have a tens, or you might not have a ones place, or you might not have a hundreds place represented, and that's where you're going to need to put a 0. Okay, you don't have numbers that just go like this. 2,075. That's not a number. Okay, remember that you have to have 3 digits here before you get to the comma. Okay? All right, there's our first math lesson video of the week. I hope you enjoyed that. Happy math work!